Hello everybody, welcome to Story and Joke Time, not live with me, Duncan Morris. Here is my goonish face. Hello everybody, I hope you're all doing very, very well. Yes, you will see, especially if you're following the line down there, it says this is a not live pre-recorded video, but you can still join the chat and tell your jokes, and you can. So there is still a live chat, feel free to tell your jokes on there. If you're not telling them on there, feel free to just tell them in any comments wherever you see this video. I don't really care. Just tell me your jokes. The way today is going to work, because it's not live, I've pre-recorded this last week at Story and Joke Time. Loads of people said, Duncan, what we really want is to hear your jokes. So I have prepared my own jokes. So it's these stories: Arnie, the accidental hero, Wake Up Do Lydia Lou, and Dilbert Dragon in the Magic Garden. Those stories will be said to you, and in between them, I will tell you my favourite jokes. But like I say, it's basically a normal one, but instead of reading your jokes, I'm telling my jokes. So you can hear my jokes. I can't see your jokes, but I want you, while we're doing this video, to send in your jokes anyway, new jokes, and then everyone who's watching can give it either a thumbs up or a thumbs down, right? And then if it gets more thumbs up than thumbs down, it's a winning joke. It's as simple as that. If you think it's terrible, give it a thumbs down. I don't really mind. You do whatever it is that you so desire. We're going to have a lot of fun. I think we need to start with one of my jokes, don't we? I made a little list of them over here because I'm not very good at remembering stuff. So I've got a couple of jokes that are quite long, kind of stories, story jokes. And most of them are pretty short. For example, here's one. I was having dinner with my boss, and her husband said, "How many potatoes would you like, Duncan?" And I said, "Oh, I'll just have one, please." He said, "It's okay, look, you don't have to be polite." I said, "All right, I'll just have one then, slug face." It doesn't work. I can tell your jokes because I don't know where they're going and they make me laugh. So that's the kind of gold you can expect. This will be a much quicker story and joke time, of course, because I won't have to keep stopping to read your jokes. We're going to start straight out the gate. We're going to read a story. We're going to go straight for Arnie, the accidental hero. There it is. Look at how it matches up. Isn't that good work? So I will move over here like this. Now, I know nothing about this. All I know is he's an armadillo. How I wish he was an aardvark. But he's not. He's an armadillo. So here we go. I don't know what it's about. There's a river in it and lots of jungly things. Kind of makes sense, right? He's rolled up in a ball. He's an accidental hero. Let's find out what this story is about. Arnie, the armadillo, was not a brave animal. He liked flowers and butterflies and sunshine, but Arnie was nervous. Arnie was shy. And Arnie was scared of everything. He was scared of snakes and of water and of bats and of thunderstorms. But most of all, Arnie was scared of crocodiles. Even thinking about them made him shake. One day, Arnie was dozing in the shade of a palm tree. Suddenly, all around, there were noisy thuds. Arnie was so frightened that he rolled himself up into a ball. Looks like he's going to be safe there. Slowly, he uncurled himself. His friends Parrot and Tortoise were laughing. Arnie's scared of bananas. Oh, bananas, they giggled. On the ground lay lots of squashy bananas. So he could hear these noisy thuds. It was just the bananas falling off the tree. Crikey. Arnie felt silly. He wished he wasn't always so timid. His friends ran off to the other side of the island. "Come and play with us, if you dare," they said. Arnie didn't like being left behind. "I'll show them I can be brave," he thought, and following their footprints, he set off into the jungle. It wasn't scary at all until Arnie turned a corner and... oh no! "Snakes!" said Arnie. "I can be brave," he thought. "I can be brave." He took a deep breath. and tiptoed past the slippery snakes as quietly as he could. But just around the corner, oh no! Water! Said Arnie. The river was deep and Arnie was frightened. But he could still see the footprints on the other side. He took a deep breath and carefully clambered across the log. But just then the sky turned very dark. Thunder! He shivered. But Arnie was being brave. He took a deep breath and ran through the storm. Up ahead, he could see footprints leading to a dry, warm cave. He ran inside, but... oh no! Bats! Oh, said Arnie. Lots of upside-down yellow eyes were watching him. He took a deep breath and scurried through as quickly as he could. By now, Arnie wasn't feeling very brave at all. He came out of the cave and into the sun, and Arnie felt much better. At last, he could see his friends. There they are, just there. But then, he saw something else as well. A crocodile! It was creeping up on Parrot and Tortoise. Arnie was more afraid than he had ever been of snakes or bats or thunderstorms, but he knew he had to warn his friends. He started to run towards them. Oh no! He was too close to the edge. He tripped and whoosh! He rolled off and fell down, 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 until thud! Arnie landed on the crocodile's head. Ouch! Yelped the crocodile and crept back into the jungle. Poor crocodile. He was only after dinner. There he is, sneaking away. Parrot and Tortoise cheered. We're sorry we laughed at you, they said. We didn't know that you were so brave. No, said Arnie, rubbing his head. Neither did I. It's the end. There we go. Now, what's interesting about that isn't... obviously, he was scared of all of those things, but because he wanted to see his friends, he just kept going. And even when it came to warning his friends, he just kept going. So he might have thought he was scared, but... oh, my hair's all messed up. He might have thought he was scared, but in fact, he wasn't nearly as scared as he thought he was he? Right, let's have a couple of my jokes, shall we? Hopefully you guys are all sharing your own jokes, having a bit of fun with it. Let's get my jokes up. So here we go. Shall I tell one? I'll tell one of my long jokes. So, there's a man. Let's call him Reginald. Reginald went to the circus. He loved the circus. He went, and then a man came out and he was doing magic tricks, and he was sort of making bunches of flowers appear out of nowhere and all kinds of stuff. Really good magic tricks. And he said, right, for my final trick. This is incredible. Nobody has ever seen a trick like this, ever. I need a volunteer from the audience. And Reginald thought, I'm not sure. Should I? And just as he was about to put his hand up, the magician said, yes, you, sir. And Reginald was like, who, me? He said, yes, you. Come down you come. So he came down, he said, what's your name? He said, Reginald. He said, is that the card you're thinking of? And he held up a card, and it was a little joke. They had a little laugh. And Reginald was there, and he said, right, what do I have to do? And the magician said, right, and he pulled a cloth off a table. And on the table was a small, just like a little tack hammer, and a claw hammer, a big one, and then a massive sledgehammer, enormous sledgehammer. And the magician said, what I want is I would like for you, okay, and this is the trick, to hit me as hard as you can in the head with one of these hammers. Don't try this at home, kids. This is a joke. As hard as you can in the head with one of these hammers, and you will see the trick. And Reginald said, what? So what? Hit you with a hammer in the head? He said, yeah. Which one do you want? He said, I can't hit you in the head with a hammer. He said, look, there's 1,000 people watching. Hit me in the head with a hammer. I promise you. Okay? I'm a magician. I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing. Reginald said, well, okay, then I'll go for I'll go for the sledgehammer. Why not? And he's, good choice, sir. There we go. Right, so I'll bend over like this. You pull the hammer up, and then you just hit me as hard as you can. So the magician's down like that. And he was like, are you sure? Are you absolutely sure? He said, yep. Trust me, magician, nothing can go wrong. So he's bending over, and Reginald picks up the hammer, and he wields it right above his head, and he brings it down like this. Wham! On top of the magician's head, and the magician, bam, hits the deck. Bit of blood comes out the side of his head. He's just straight unconscious. And Reginald's like, what? And then the ringmaster comes out and goes, right, we need an ambulance. And they phone an ambulance, and he goes off to hospital. And Reginald feels terrible. He's never hurt anybody in his entire life. And he can't believe it. He's like, what went wrong? What went wrong? He goes in the ambulance to the hospital with the magician. And Reginald just sits by his bed for hours, hour upon hour, day after day, as a boop, 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 in the hospital. And he goes, he's sitting there just really worried. He doesn't ever want to hurt anybody. He didn't even want to do this trick. He wasn't even sure he wanted to do it. And now he's sat there, he's Reginald, and he's just watching this man fighting for his life. And he's, beep, beep, beep. And he's, oh no. And then one day, it's about 6-7 months later, sitting there, Reginald, he's barely left his side. He's left his side to eat. He's given up his job. He doesn't even go. He just wants to know this guy's going to be okay. And the magician is lying there. And Reginald's sitting there looking at him. And he notices the magician's eye just go. And he's like, Reginald's, nurse. He rings the buzzer. And he sees it. And the magician's sort of slowly fighting. And you can see he's like, oh, it's good. Look. And the magician finally he opens one eye. And then he slowly opens the other eye. And then he looks at Reginald and he goes, ta-da! It's one of my favourite jokes, that. I like it. It's a long one. Whether you found it funny or not is none of my business. Couldn't give a monkeys. Don't care if you found it funny. I find that joke hilarious. If that one wasn't to your liking, how about this? This is one for 90s, people that were around in the 90s. Why did the lion get lost? Because jungle is massive. That's a good joke. It's a good joke. Don't you go telling me that's not a good joke. Especially on the back of ta-da, which is one of my favourite jokes. You know it's a good joke, all right? Right, we're going to slip straight on to Wake Up Do Lydia Lou. Here we go. See? Wake Up Do Lydia Lou. Allow me to move slightly to the side, bring the microphone towards me, and we are good to go. I know nothing about this story. I know it's got a little bear in it, I should imagine. Could be in toddler tune time, but not right now. It's for Poppy and Leo and for Lou Bass. Wake Up Do Lydia Lou. Looks like a ghost. I don't know what to expect. Oh, it is a ghost, look. Now, one night, a ghost glided into Lydia Lou's bedroom when she was fast asleep. The ghost said, "Ooh, wake up, do, Lydia Lou. Wake up from your dream and scream." But Lydia Lou didn't wake up. The ghost tried again, but this time he jumped out and said, "Boo! Ooh, wake up, do, Lydia Lou. Wake up from your dream and scream." But Lydia Lou went on sleeping. That the bear's having a look. The bear's like, "I'm not too sure about this." "I need some help," said the ghost. So he fetched a kitten. "Meow. Moo. Woo. Wake up, do, Lydia Lou. Wake up from your dream and scream." But Lydia Lou just smiled in her sleep. There she is, smiling. There's Teddy Bear like, "I need more help," said the ghost. So he fetched a cow. "Moo. Meow. Boo. Woo. Wake up, do, Lydia Lou. wake up from your dream and scream. Lydia Lou turned onto her back and began to snore. Teddy's like, I need some more help, said the ghost. So he fetched an owl. To-wit-a-woo! Moo! Mew! Boo! Woo! Wake up too, Lydia Lou. Wake up from your dream and scream. But Lydia Lou just hugged her teddy a little bit tighter. I need some more help, said the ghost. So he fetched a baby. Boo! To-wit-a-woo! Moo! Mew! Boo! Woo! Wake up too, Lydia Lou. Wake up from your dream and scream. The teddy looked a tiny bit scared, but Lydia Lou just kept on sleeping. I need some more help, said the ghost. So he fetched a cockerel. Twit-woo! Moo! Meow! Boo! Woo! Wake up too, Lydia Lou. Wake up from your dream and scream. Lydia Lou slept on, and a feather floated out of her pillow. The feather tickled the ghost's nose and the kitten's nose. It tickled the cow's nose and the baby's nose too, and it tickled the beaks of the birds. And all together they let out an enormous sneeze. Achoo! And at last Lydia Lou awoke from her dream, and she laughed. She's there, she's got a cow, a baby, a kitten, a cockerel, a ghost, an owl, and Teddy. Ah, how brilliant. I do love a Julia Donaldson book. Makes me happy. Another great story. Stories about bravery and stories about sleeping while ghosts are trying to get you. Ah, it makes me happy. Good story. Now I need to tell you some more jokes. Just a reminder to anyone who might have joined a bit late, this is not live. We are not live right now. I pre-recorded this a couple of days ago, if we're being perfectly honest with you. And so now it's like I'm speaking to you from the past into the future. And but you can still submit your jokes, whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube. You can still submit your jokes. Just drop them in the comments. They can't come up on screen because, well, they haven't been made yet when I'm making this video. But you can share your own jokes. You can tell everyone what you think of my jokes. I think my jokes are fantastic, but it's entirely up to you. So, by the way, some of my jokes are courtesy of the wonderful comedian Tim Vine. I stole most of my jokes from him because, frankly, he's very, very funny man. He does short jokes that make me laugh a lot. This isn't one of his, though. What's yellow and goes click, click? A ballpoint banana. It's true. We haven't had that one. What's green, has 6 legs, and if it falls out of a tree, it'll kill you? A snooker table. Look, you better be laughing right now, okay? Because I'm just on my own. Like, when I'm reading your jokes, they're new to me, so they make me laugh. I know my own jokes. I'm not going to laugh at my own jokes, am I? So I've got to trust that you guys are just there going, this is the funniest thing I've ever read. That's your voice. That's how you talk. There we go. Anyway, so Batman came up to me and he hit me over the head with a vase. And he went, "Tapow!" And I said, "Don't you mean kapow?" He said, "No, I've got China in my hand." That's a good joke. If you tell me that's not a good joke, I will be cross with you. Right. I'm going to do a couple more. Here we go. A couple more of Duncan's jokes. Right. I bought a train ticket and the driver said, "You're a star." I said, "Well, I'm on YouTube, but I'm no Joe Wicks." I've adapted that joke from the original joke. It becomes my own joke. You're a star. As in, you're a star. See, the joke is, it sounds like you're saying you're a star. And I'm saying, well, I've been on YouTube. Like, I'm not a star, but I've been on YouTube, but I'm no joke. You get the idea. Yeah, good. I went down the local supermarket and I said, I want to make a complaint. This vinegar's got lumps in it. And he said, those are pickled onions. Okay, tough crowd. Now, I'm going to read the last story, but actually, first off, I'm going to do one more long joke. And then I'll do the last story. Here goes the long joke. It's a man goes to the pub. Why not? He's allowed. The restrictions have been relaxed. Everyone can go down the pub. He goes down the pub, and he sees a man sitting at the bar, and the man has got an orange for a head. And he thinks, that's odd. But he just orders his drink, has a drink. And as he's sitting there, he thinks, and the drink starts to work its magic, and he starts to get a little less tactful. He thinks, I'm going to go over there. I want to know more about this. This is interesting to me. So he walked over to the man with an orange for a head, and he said, excuse me, mate. I couldn't help noticing that you have got an orange for a head. And the man said, I do. Yes, I do have an orange for a head. And he goes, I'm not being rude. I've just had a couple of drinks. But I'm not being rude, but what's the deal? Why have you got an orange for a head? He says, well, it is an interesting story, actually, because what happened was I was walking down the road and I used to collect bottles, like vintage, old, antique bottles. And I saw this antique bottle just lying in the gutter, and I was like, oh, that's nice. So I took it home. I started cleaning it up, and as I rubbed it, a genie popped out. Just flew out of it and said, thank you for releasing me. You can have 3 wishes. And he goes, what, a genie? Yeah. So I said, you can have 3 wishes. He said, well, what did you wish for? He said, well, for my first wish, I wished that I could have unlimited money, that my wallet would never run out of money. He goes, and did it happen? He opened up his wallet and he said, yeah, look. And he pulled out a big wad of £50 notes. And he said, right, barman, put that behind the bar, drinks for everyone until it runs out. And barman goes, oh, that's amazing. And he goes, right, look. And he opened it again, and it was full of 50s again. And he said, barman, again, same again. I guess that's incredible. And the man with oranges for a head said, yeah, that's amazing. He said, well, what did you wish for your second wish? He said, for my second wish, I wish that I could have genuine friends and always know when someone is a genuine friend. And that I'd never be betrayed, and I never want to betray anyone. And that wherever I go, I just make new friends. And I said, then did it work? He said, well, we're making really good friends now. He said, honestly, it was impossible for me to choose best man at my wedding. It was just ridiculous. I've got so many good friends. Actually, maybe too many good friends. But yeah, no, everywhere I go and people, I've got all the money in the world, but people are always buying me drinks. Birthdays are a nightmare. I don't know what to do with all the presents. It's just, and if I've ever got problems, straight away, there's like 20 people just turn up. Everyone I meet just wants to be really good friends with me. You must be thinking. He said, I do actually. That's why I came over straight away. I thought I want to be good friends with you. He said, see, so it worked. He goes, well, what? That's incredible. So you wished for like unending money and genuine friendship from everyone you meet. He said, that must be incredible. He said, yeah. He said, well, what did you wish for your third wish? He said, well, for my third wish, I wished I had an orange for a head. I'm sorry, I now can't tell that joke without laughing. I know I'm laughing at my own jokes. It's just, you just wish for an orange for a head. You just wish for an orange for a head. It's like, it's not a pun. It's not about anything. He just wished he had an orange for a head. That's the entire depth of that joke. And I like it. I'm a big fan of the orange for a head joke. And I hope you are too. Right. Good. Right. So, with that, let's read Dilbert Dragon and the Magic Garden. And I'll get to choose my own favourite joke. Of my own jokes. Oh, look, let's get Dilbert Dragon and the Magic Garden. Here we go. Don't forget, you might as well keep telling your own jokes, because I don't have to read them out, so you can just keep telling them, as long as you're still listening to the story. Keep telling your jokes. Dilbert Dragon and the Magic Garden by Ellie Wharton. Good on you, Ellie Wharton. Little Fairy had a lovely garden. It was full of flowers and butterflies and buzzing insects and trees and ponds and flowers. Buzz, buzz, flutter, flutter. But it wasn't just lovely. Little Fairy's garden was also magical. And because it was magic, it was full of magic creatures like Ned the leprechaun, who told Little Fairy all about the glittering pots of gold hidden at the end of the rainbows. Or the friendly moss monster who loved to play hide and seek. Ready or not, here I come. Or White Unicorn, who only appeared when there was a full moon and gave Little Fairy rides up and down the garden. Gallop, gallop, gallop. It's nice, isn't it? But sometimes the magic in Little Fairy's garden got a little out of hand. And today was one of those days. Dilbert the dragonfly had decided that he didn't want to be a dragonfly anymore. He was bored with being small, so he wanted to be a real dragon. And because Little Fairy's garden was magic, that is exactly what happened. One moment Dilbert was very small, and the next moment he was very, very big. Dilbert had changed into a dragon, but strangely, Dilbert found he didn't like being big. He couldn't dodge in and out of the trees like he used to. And when he took a drink of water from the pond, he ended up swallowing up every last drop. Look, he feels really bad, and the frogs aren't impressed. Look at them. Fish has only just got enough water at the bottom here. And what's more, every time Dilbert tried to speak, flames came out of his mouth. Brrr. Soon, poor Dilbert was flapping about in a panic, and Little Fairy's magic garden was on fire. Oh no. Little Fairy didn't know what to do. She'd never met a dragon before. Never mind a dragonfly trying to be a dragon. There's an arrow here that says Big Fairy's magic forest. There was only one thing for it. She would have to go next door to Big Fairy's magic forest. Big Fairy was more than happy to help. Nothing had happened in her forest for a very long time. Look, she's enormous. Big Fairy flew up to Dilbert and jumped on his back. In fact, she was so big that Dilbert couldn't carry her, and they crashed to the ground. And while Dilbert was pinned to the floor, Little Fairy quickly flew up to him and whispered a magic spell. He thinks he's small, just like a gnat, but flies as fast as any bat. And as for courage, he never lacks. So bring our brave old Dilbert back. And whoosh! And Dilbert was back to his old, small self again. Little Fairy and Big Fairy decided to have a party to celebrate. Dilbert was the smallest creature there. And although he was small, Dilbert still felt very important. And he promised never to wish to be someone else again. And that is a brilliant message. It's very important, I think. Sometimes we can spend a lot of our lives just looking at other people's lives and things other people have got and the way other people are and thinking, but I want to be like that. And you spend so much time thinking about how you wish you were somebody else, you forget to appreciate how special you are. So you've got to make sure you do that as well, guys. You've got to make sure you don't think about being somebody else. Be proud of who you are and enjoy it because you are amazing. Now, I'm going to tell a couple more jokes and I'm going to tell you what my joke of the week is. And brilliantly, I already know who's won. It's me. Now, you guys can vote on each other's jokes and my jokes in the comments. So you keep that going. Keep sharing this video so more and more people can watch. And of course, if you share it, they can watch from the beginning as well. So let's get up my last couple of jokes and then I'll make a decision. Did I do that? I've done the carrot one, haven't I? Anyway, I think that's already happened here. And this one's definitely happened, or at least variations on this, but this was the first joke I ever read and ever knew. So I've got to tell you it, even though I've already told you it once in the past. And we've already had loads of variations. What does a cow have for breakfast? Muesli. Yeah, I mean, it's not a good joke, but it is a joke. It is a joke. What's yellow and smells of bananas? Oh, no, that's not that. What's brown? Anyway, the answer's monkey sick, but I can't remember. What's brown and smells of bananas? Monkey. Anyway, it's not a nice joke, is it? Ooh, monkey sick. What's white and hops across the outback? Skippy the fridge. That's one for the older ones. Skippy the fridge there, hopping across the outback. And here we go. A good joke, this one. This is the best pun I've ever heard. This is, unfortunately, another one of Tim Vine's, as were a couple of the others earlier on. I love Tim Vine. He makes me laugh very, very much. I was going through the tube the other day, and I saw a man playing Dancing Queen on the didgeridoo. And I thought to myself, that's Aboriginal. You know that's a good joke. That's a clever pun. And Aboriginal and original, and all parts of it work. Playing Dancing Queen by ABBA on the didgeridoo, Aboriginal. Never heard that before. That's original. That's Aboriginal. That is a phenomenal pun. Doesn't get much better than that. Doesn't get much better than that. Now, I now need to choose a joke of the week. So I tell you what, I'm just going to choose a random person who's probably watching. I'm going to say, all over, joke of the week is Noah this week. Noah, you win joke of the week. I don't even know if you said a joke, but say a joke, Noah, and that wins joke of the week. So that's one over there, is joke of the week. And for the grown-ups, I'll give it to... Helen. I've given the grown-ups one to Helen. That's what I've done. I don't even know if she's watching. Helen, you win joke of the week. Well done. Good joke. You might not have even said one. Say a joke and that wins joke of the week. Now, I think my joke of the week is definitely Orange for a Head. It's my favourite joke. I love it. I also love Ta-da! And then I wish for an orange for a head. It's just so silly. It makes no sense at all. It's just ludicrous. Absolutely ridiculous. Now, we've done story and joke time, and I'm taking some time off. I'm not going to be back until Tuesday the 4th with Toddler Tune Time. So we'll be back on Tuesday the 4th of August for Toddler Tune Time. Until then, stay safe, have fun, keep watching all of the other... If there's other stuff happening from Mask, there might be. I don't know. I've lost track. Make sure you keep following that and have a good time. Have a good holiday. Keep sending me your jokes while I'm away, and I will enjoy them, I'm sure. Take care, everyone. Look, I'll stick it onto the last page. And look, I've got no coming up because there's nothing coming up. But it does remind you that if you would like to, you can make a donation to Mask, and the details are there, and they're in the description of this video. You guys, please take care, and I will see you in about a week and a half. Bye-bye, everybody.